right? I know, it's almost like you can believe it. It's unbelievable, it's such a long time. So there was an instance where I did, have some trouble with one customer in particular. So I go to greet him at the door, as you do, and I said, hello, welcome to ABC Motors. My name is Tianna, and you are? And he just abruptly says, I don't need to talk to a receptionist. I need to see a salesman about a vehicle outside. I just smiled and I said, hey, no worries. I'm a salesperson. Let me go outside. Let's see what we can do. So we go outside and come back in. When it came time to talk numbers, he turns to me and he says, look, Tianna, you're a nice girl. I'm fine with you showing me the vehicle, going on the test drive, showing me the dealership, but when it comes time for numbers, I'm ready to see the man in charge, if you know what I mean. So I didn't argue, and I just smiled and I said, hey, no worries, I'll go get the manager, but I guarantee you my numbers will be better because I work for my customers. So I went to get my manager, and long story short, I do end up selling him a vehicle. Not only that, he brought back his wife, his daughter, and his sister-in-law, all to purchase vehicles from me. Why? Just because I was a strong businesswoman in the automotive industry. And there's not enough women in automotive at all in LA. I think that number needs to change. And basically, he just wanted his female family members to be connected to a strong woman in business, especially in automotive. How many people can say, oh, I have the best female sales car rep that can help you? Not a lot. So we need to change that, LA.
Absolutely, I totally agree. You guys agree with us?
Yes.
Okay,
Woo!
appreciate that. Y'all can clap, it's okay. You can clap. It's a great story, absolutely. All right, so let's talk about ethnicity-based, right? So there's obviously, from a minority standpoint, right? From an ethnicity standpoint, sometimes there are challenges, but they actually go both ways. I was at a dealership and I was talking to a lady and she was on speakerphone and we're just talking, people listening to how I set appointments. So I set an appointment with the lady and she's like, okay, well, I want to make sure that my salesperson is black, right? Now, we get that at some dealerships, her concerns would be valid, right? But I had to explain to her that, hey, that's not something that you need to be concerned about here. We don't do all of that separation stuff, black, white, that's not how we do business. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you with the best person. Does that make sense? Y'all say the best.
The best.
Because that's the whole point. Listen, and then I let her know, I said, if you're concerned that there's not representation here, you can best believe, because the GM was black at the time, like, that's not what we have going on. We're not one of those places. And I get it. Trust and believe. I get, sometimes we want to be, and again, this is what we talk about as far as customers, wanting to make sure that they're comfortable because they want to make sure there's representation. Y'all say representation.
Representation.
I'm telling you, that is so important. Make sure you got everybody at your dealership. Let's talk about another one. Let's talk about religious-based, right? A lot of people don't realize that I am a black, blind Jew. You just don't hear those three words go together. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? But when it comes to religion, right, there are some conversations that I can just have a little bit on a deeper basis, right? Coming up, we got Passover, right? A lot of folks don't maybe not necessarily know a lot about Passover, but if a customer comes in, if we're having that conversation, it's a genuine one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? The Bradleys and I, we just celebrated Hanukkah together last November. It was early last year. It was weird, right? But Hanukkah, right? There was a conversation that, again, in most times, we miss that type of perspective because all of our friends are of the same ethnicity, the same religion. It's got to be the same. It's not about being the same. It's we got to celebrate our what? Differences. Y'all say differences.
Differences.
Absolutely. So we even got another one that I think a lot of people don't think a lot about. Let's talk about it, T.
Yeah, definitely. So defining minorities when it comes based on a sexual orientation base. So I mentioned earlier how I was running Facebook paid ads to drive personal traffic to my personal website, T Got Your Keys. And the ads would say kind of something like, hey, this is Tianna from T Got Your Keys, and being a proud member of the LGBT community myself, I know firsthand how important it is to feel safe and comfortable in your own environment. So for a fun, fast, easy, no pressure car shopping experience, go to tgotyourkeys.com. Something like that, right? Simple. See, LA, everybody loved actually my ads, and especially all the customers that were coming in because of them. Except for this one coworker. There's always that one, right? And let's just say his name is Larry. So Larry, sorry for all Larrys out there. So Larry was actually bad-mouthing my ads to fellow coworkers, upper management, and even to some customers. You see, Larry said that he was a afraid that if his customers saw the dealership supported gay people, then his customers may be afraid and uncomfortable of coming into the dealership. It's crazy. So, as hard as Larry tried, and he was adamant, to get my LGBT ads off of our website, the very next day, a woman writes into me, and she says, I saw your website, I saw all your videos, you look like such a nice person to purchase a vehicle from. I'm about an hour and a half away from the dealership, but I don't care, I'm coming in to purchase a vehicle from you. And I wasn't arguing. So, long story short, she does end up coming in and purchase the vehicle, and not to lie, I did make some money off of it. But to go back and just to remind you that it was all off of a Facebook paid ad. Mind you, it was $6, so it didn't cost me a lot to get a lot, okay? So not only that, after I sold her the vehicle, she actually owned a local store in the town that she drove from. And my poster was in her front window. Not only that, she consistently supported gay rallies and pride communities, so I got referrals each and every month. Now, LA, as you know, I don't really sell cars anymore, and I could send all of those referrals to Larry, but I don't.
Absolutely. Give it up and see, man. I'm telling you. Listen, what if people at our dealerships were doing all the things that she was doing?